Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Ferguson.
It's hard to stay up, it's been a long, long day, and you've got the Sandman at your door. But hang on, leave the TV on, and let's do it anyway. It's okay, you can always sleep through one tomorrow, okay? Hey, hey, tomorrow's just can you check yesterday? Hey, everybody! Hi, welcome! Thank you. All right. That's enough. That's enough. Welcome to Los Angeles, California. Welcome to the Late Late Show. I'm your host, TV's Craig Ferguson. Please sit down, relax, rub yourself in turkey grease. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Yeah, do it. Rub yourself in turkey grease. Why not? I did before I came out, so I'll be like lightning tonight. It's a great day for America today. Actually, maybe not. Because much of the country is blanketed by snow. Snow over a lot of the country. Big cold not much of a blanket, big cold snowy blanket. Maybe not a great day for America, but a great day for Southern California. Because California today, just in case you're watching in the Midwest, California's today 64 and sunny. Come on by. Come on by. 64 and sunny with a bit of high pressure moving in from the south. And some moving in over there. It was quite cool this morning, actually. It was cold this morning. I'm not expecting anyone in the East or in the Midwest to feel sorry for me, but it was a little bit cold this morning. I had to put on 2 tank tops to go for my peppermint latte this morning. My Frappuccino stayed icy a little bit longer than usual. But I came to LA for the weather. Obviously, fantastic weather here, very, very nice indeed. Not for show business, obviously. I didn't come to LA for show business, and here I am, not in show business. CBS 12:30. Now, I'm not originally from LA. I don't know if I've mentioned that to you. I'm not originally from here. I'm from a very, very, very cold place, Scotland, very cold. But my blood's thinned. So it's got very thin. I've got fat, my blood has got thin. I've become soft, I've become a big girly man. Because I'm very kind of, I have my Frappuccino, I have my tank tops. Hi, everyone! Hi! Because I think when you come from a cold climate, you think you're going to be tough in cold weather your whole life, but it doesn't work like that. If you move here from a cold climate, you lose your heartiness. It goes away. I go back to Scotland now and I stay inside and cry. During the summer, I stay inside. How do you people live in this hell? Who do you have to kill to get a latte in this country? Now, I can never go back. Now, when I was a wee boy in Scotland, though, we had to wear school uniforms when we went to school. And in these cold, cold winters, they made us wear tiny little shorts. Like the type they wear out in Santa Monica Boulevard now. They should have tiny shorts. Tiny little shorts. And I was freezing cold. It was very, very cold. I don't know how cold. I mean, it was the metric system, but it was very cold. Not even people who use the metric system know what the hell. It was like €1,000,000 below Celsius, something like that. Which is about $8. I don't know. I'm not good with it. Anyway, where I grew up was very rough. So when it snowed, we'd throw snowballs, but in the neighbourhood I grew up in, the snowballs, we put stones inside it. If we didn't have nails, stones. So when I watch these holiday movies and the kids are playfully throwing snowballs, I think, are you mad? Somebody's going to get killed here. Now, one horrible winter, this is true, 1978 it was in Britain. Oh, let me take you there. Or not, as the case may be. They called it the Winter of Discontent. There was a minor strike on in the UK, and there were power cuts all over it. It was a 3-day work week. It was terrible. The whole country was falling apart. And we all had, we had candles in our houses. And not those jasmine-scented aromatherapy, kind of, let's see how your aura is and everything. Right, candles are lit, let's get Kabbalahing. What? Do the Kabbalah people beat people up? Probably not. No, yeah, no more red string for you. But we had the candles to keep warm. We had to, really, we had to sit round the candles to keep warm. So it's a step up for me, really, being here in CBS. For some people, no, but for me, yes. Now, in the winter, I like to sit by a fireplace in the winter. I like a real fireplace in the winter. I learned how to make a fire from my granny in Scotland. My grandmother taught me how to make it. She was an arsonist. No, she wasn't. Oh, lighting fires makes me sexually excited. No, she wasn't an arsonist. I can't believe I said that about my poor dead grandmother. That's a terrible thing to say. Sometimes I think too much. No, but she taught me how to, you know, roll up the newspaper and then we used to put, you know, the kindling on top, bit of wood on top, bit of coal on top of that, you know, some plutonium on top of that, I guess. And I make great fires because of her tutelage. I roll up the newspaper, I won't use a fire starter, I don't use any of these, you know, kerosene things, nothing like that. I start fires with no matches even. No, I'm Scottish. I can start fires with passive aggression. Passive aggression. I just sit there. I look at the paper and the wood, and I say, "Don't worry about me. I'm fine in the cold." Eventually, the wood is so ashamed it just bursts into flames. That's how we do it in the old country. Guilt will start fires. Back though, in the winters back there in Scotland, my mother. She went to some arts and crafts class, and she made me a sled one winter. You know, it was huge, though. It was too big. I think she got the sizes right. But this thing was about the size of the Queen Mary, this sled. You needed a runway for this sled. It was giant. And every time it snowed in Scotland, which is a lot, she would say, "Oh, take your sled out. It's time for you to take your sled out." I'm like, I can't take the sled out. I don't have a team of guys to help me with it. I need a crane for the sled. Because you want something nippy when you're a kid in the snow. You want a tray, a little tray. You know, something that moves around. A tray in your ass, tray in your feet, down the hill you go. You can do that, actually, in Scotland in the summertime. You can do that because it's so wet in the hillsides. You just get a little tray on your ass, tray in your feet, down you go. You got to be drunk. You got to be drunk. You got to be... God, I'm really drunk. Boom. Oh, this is so much fun. Boom. If drunk traying were an Olympic sport, I'd have gold by now. Gold. But you get disqualified for not being drunk, though. When you get disqualified for not taking drugs. Anyway, the joy of winter, of course, is skiing. There's a lot of people love the skiing in the winter. Not much in Scotland. You'd think so, but no. Once we had a school trip once to go on a skiing lesson. We went up some big slushy mountain, and they took us on the school bus. Well, there wasn't a school bus. They took us in horse and cart. They whipped us. They just fired us from a gun up to the top of this hill, and there were no ski lessons. They didn't have, you know, any lessons, any ski instructors, any guys called France who said, "Hey, I help you kids, okay?" No. Oh, you've been skiing? No. It was just, they just said, "Here's your skis, that's the bottom of the hill, off you go." And it's true, and when I was skiing down the hill, I did it once, I always fell in exactly the same part of my ass. Don't it? Right, you know the little tailbone bit right there, every single damn time. Boom, I was just crying. I just thought, this is rubbish, this skiing. This is like regular school. And so years later, right, much later, I was at the Aspen Comedy Festival, the Aspen, Festival. And Aspen, it's snowy there. And I thought, I'll take some snowboarding lessons with a professional. So that's what I did. And I met this guy, very kind of guy, who's got the raccoon thing from wearing goggles. And he says, right, now, apparently part of snowboarding is to fall on your ass. It's the ass fall movement. You know, you go like that, and then bang, you fall on your ass. And I always fell on exactly the same part of my ass. Yes, again. So I'm never doing it again. It's also embarrassing to learn to snowboard and ski when you're like 40 years old. This is it, 2-year-olds, you know, skating past you like that. Stop crying, jackass. They're little, they don't fall over. You know, they're all... I once went ice skating in all places, Charlotte, North Carolina. And they have an ice hockey training academy or something there. And I was there for, I can't remember why, I think I was drunk. And it can happen. And they give you these, if you're the goalie, they give you this great big padding thing right round your ass to protect you from the puck. And CBS, you got to be careful. If this was cable, I wouldn't care. But, you know, CBS, Tiffany Network, puck. So I have this thing around me, and I thought, if I had this giant padded thing, I could have learned to ski properly. I'd wear it all the time if I could, actually. I'm wearing it now. I'm wearing it right now. The best place I went to for winter fun was Sweden. Sweden, they know how to do the winter fun. They've got the saunas there. And I went. I thought, this is going to be fun. Because you think, I'm going to the saunas, it'll be full of free-thinking, you know, pouty Swedish women. All kind of, you know, desperate to meet a man. It's pathetic. Hey, Scottish man, you like ABBA and Pine Furniture? Let's make monkey love. So, didn't happen. The sauna had pouty fat men in them. Oh, there were boobies, but a very different sort of booby. And you sit in this sauna, and it's hot and it's sweaty, and some big fat Swedish guy hits you with eucalyptus leaves. And then they all run outside and roll around in the snow, and then scream and then run back inside. It's like Swedish Fear Factor or something. They just run out and... Yeah. I don't think that's even allowed under the Geneva Convention. I think that's illegal. I wouldn't do it. Anyway, this is winter in California, winter here, and no one's going to be out in the snow here in California. It's not going to happen. But in California, everybody gets sick. That's what we do. We all get the flu here. And it's hard to get a good flu shot. I've got a flu shot, but not the good one. You have to be... Just like the... Because there's like... It's everything in Hollywood. There's a VIP flu shot list. There is. There is. You can get... This will cover regular flu, but dangerous bird flu? Nah, you don't get that. Letterman gets that. I don't get that. I don't get it. Go to the CBS doctor for, you know, for it's flu season. What have you got? He said, here's Advil, wear a hat, good luck. Anyway, we got a great show tonight. Michelle Yeoh is here, everybody. Jason Latimer is here. We'll be right back.
The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson.
My first guest tonight is one of the biggest action stars in the world. She was in Tomorrow Never Dies. She was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She's a martial arts expert. And she's in the movie Memoirs of a Geisha, which is already in some theatres. Take a look at this.
I don't want mere kindness. What? What more can we expect, we geisha? You have feelings for the parents, you. I never allowed myself that. Don't lie to me. In time, you learn. I don't want to learn. Sayuri! We don't become geisha to pursue our own destinies. We become geisha because we have no choice.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Please welcome Michelle Yeoh, everybody. Good evening, Michelle.
Good evening.
How are you?
Great.
Really?
What
You look
amazing
sensational.
reception.
Yes, people are very fond of you. You're very well loved in this particular studio. In fact, by me. If I should say. I love your work, and I loved what you just did there in my knee, but... Because in the action movies, you do all your own... I'm trying to concentrate. You do all your own stunts, don't you? You do all that.
Yes.
Do you get
I think
hurt?
it's important to. Yes, unfortunately, I have gotten hurt.
Yeah?
I wish I can say no. In the past, working in Hong Kong, we didn't quite have the CG computer graphics to help us.
So you had to really run up the tree then?
We had to run up the tree, but the problem is we ran up the tree with very thin wires.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we do it with cables, and then, you know, you go into the CG room, and you can remove...
The computer thing,
right.
and it's all done
It
with...
makes it easier. It makes it safer for us. In the past, when we didn't have that, I would roll off a truck for real.
I've done that.
You've done that a few times. Well, you're a rugby player.
Yeah, it's...
I know. I have a really, really good couple of Scottish friends who were rugby
then you
players.
know, yeah.
They lost their front teeth.
Yeah, I used to...
Seriously.
Yeah, no, it's a very brutal game, rugby. It's kind of like being in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Without running up the tree. So listen, are you from Hong Kong?
No, I'm actually from Malaysia.
Right, but you lived in Hong Kong when you were making the movies, right?
I've been living in Hong Kong for about 18 years now.
Did it change a lot? Because the British moved out in when, 1999?
97.
97.
Right.
And...
Honestly, Hong Kong is not that different. Hong Kong is very sophisticated, as you know.
I don't know. I've never
been
been to Hong Kong, no.
Oh, my.
I know.
Well, you should.
I know, it's stupid. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go now.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing that really has changed is you don't see the Queen's photographs everywhere.
That's okay.
You can live without that.
I'm okay without rampant colonialism. I'm all right with that. Yeah.
Good. We're okay with that. And, you know, coming from Malaysia is something that we know very well as well.
Was that part of the British Empire as well?
Oh,
Malaysia?
yes.
Oh,
yes. Yes.
So how did you get rid of them? Because in Scotland, we haven't got rid of them yet. It's a fair question. You run up the tree and kick their ass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are a lot of us like me,
Yeah.
you know, back at home.
You're kidding.
So
I'm
the
going.
Brits went, okay, bye-bye, we're out of here.
So listen, did you train to do that? Have you trained since you were a little girl to do this stuff?
No, I did ballet
Ah.
when I was little.
There must be a strange form of kick-ass ballet, if you don't mind.
Well, if you think about it, ballet is actually a very disciplined form of movement.
Right.
Very particular style, and it takes hours of training.
Right.
And, you know, it looks effortless when they're dancing on stage, but you don't see the bleeding toes, you don't see the bad backs, or, you know, all the injuries that the ballerinas sustain. So very much it was doing one kind of movement and shifting it into another kind, and I shifted it. It's the different way of propelling the energy force. With ballet.
Do you do any action stuff in Memoirs of a Geisha?
No.
No, there's no kung fu in that.
It's all very contained in Memoirs of a Geisha.
Yeah.
It was difficult because it was so contained. It was like every layer of kimono that came onto the body was a reminder of all the strict rules that they lived by.
Right.
And I played the role of Mameha, which was the mentor, and she was supposed to be...
Well, she's the good geisha. I've read the book.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie.
So you know,
she
was supposedly the best geisha. She followed the rules very, very strictly. She lived by the geisha rules.
Right.
And the first one is you deny yourself love. The most basic, fundamental
That's
thing.
like talk show hosts.
Yeah? Why?
I don't know. It breaks my heart, but it's my destiny, Michelle. It's my destiny. I live by the talk show rules. It's true. Oh, you're just lovely. We have to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back. We'll be right back with Michelle Yeoh, everybody.
Remember, Jew, geisha are not courtesans, and we are not wives. We sell our skills, not our bodies. We create another secret world, a place only of beauty.
Welcome back, my lovelies. I'm here with the delightful Michelle Yeoh. We were talking about Memoirs of a Geisha, the Geisha code of you don't sell your... They're not prostitutes.
You don't sell your bodies.
No, but people,
no, it's true.
They're
There's
not prostitutes.
A lot of misconceptions about. It's not a black and white world.
Right.
It's really they are performing artists. They
Right.
really spend their whole lives, hours on end, perfecting the art forms, music, dancing.
The fan thing.
Oh, the fan, yes, the fan thing. Then there's the sake
I can already
thing.
do that. The what thing? What's that thing?
The sake thing.
Sake. Oh, sake!
Yeah, you love that.
Yeah.
You're Scottish, right?
Well, no, for a while, yeah. I don't anymore.
Why?
Well, it's a long story involving a tattoo and a sore bottom, but it's it happened.
Okay,
It
no
happened.
one
I'm not
asked
proud
you
of
to
it, but
show
that's what happened. So listen, I wanted to talk to you about the stunts that you've been hurt doing these running around, up the trees, and not in the geisha movie. You might have hurt your fingers.
We only have, you hurt your fingers and your knees in the geisha
What's the
movies.
worst thing that's ever happened to you? The worst accident you've ever had?
Oh my, I've injured my neck, cracked a few ribs, my back, 2 ACL surgeries.
What's an ACL surgery?
It's a knee surgery
Oh,
on
right.
both knees, like Scarface, down there.
Yeah. I'm looking purely in a doctory way.
Yes. Okay, back to the injuries.
Okay.
Probably the worst one. The worst one I've had was this movie that I did called The Story of Our Gum, which was really a tribute to the stunt people,
Right.
particularly in Hong Kong. They are really the unsung heroes. They do all these amazing stunts, but nobody ever knows who they are.
Who they are, yeah.
Really. And in this film, I play a stunt woman who she had an accident prior to that, and she had lost her nerves. And it's very much like riding on a horse. When you fall off the horse, the first thing you have to do is get back on so that you
get your nerve back.
you get your nerve back. And in the movie, I work very closely with this stunt coordinator actor, Sammo Hung. I'm sure.
Oh, Sammo Hung, I
Yeah.
love Sammo. He's the kind of the chunky guy.
the big guy who's
You guys
so...
Sammo, he had a TV show in America.
That's right. He did for a while.
He's the fat kung fu guy.
That's
I love
right.
him.
And he's brilliant. It's true he's fat, but he's so agile. He can do like triple somersaults here and jump up on,
He's like Jim Belushi.
Yes, he is, in many ways.
Yeah.
So in this part of the sequence, I am jumping off an overhead highway.
Right.
Onto a moving truck. So I've done the big stunt. I've actually jumped off this highway
already done that?
onto the moving truck.
Right.
So now we have a medium to close-up shot where is Sammo when I'm standing up there and I'm hesitating whether I should make this jump or not. So he pushes me off to say, come on girl, you need to get your nerves back. Just go for it. So he pushes me off, and the fall is maybe about 15 feet tall. And in Hong Kong, we don't use airbags. We use...
Airbags, you don't use them?
No, we don't have airbags.
What do you
we
use
have
then?
cardboard boxes, empty cardboard boxes that you
Right.
get in Safeway.
You people are crazy.
We don't have the budgets to work
Right,
with
yeah.
that. And then they put mattresses on top of the cardboard boxes.
Right.
And when I was pushed off, the first thing you remember always is what this shot is about. The shot is about this girl not wanting to make the jump, so she's panicking. And when I'm thinking about the shot, I realize, oh, bloody hell, the mattresses are coming a lot faster than I had anticipated. So here, this is me.
Right.
Can I do this?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So I'm pushed off, and I'm going down, and I see the mattresses. I hit the mattress, okay? So first thing I hear is my neck go...
I don't
back.
like this.
And I know.
Yeah.
Then, because my head is stuck there, my feet go this way.
You bent backwards over
Yeah.
your body?
So all I felt was the back of my legs hitting the top of my head.
Oh, man.
Yeah, oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard this right at the back. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I turned over, and all I could see was my director, Ann Hui. And this was the first time she was making a dramatic action movie.
Yeah.
She had not seen these stunts before. And she was just in shock and crying, and tears just streaming down her face.
Yeah, I feel like that now.
Can you imagine what I was feeling?
Yeah.
I flipped around, and the one thing I know, we all speak in Cantonese. And I
Right.
know when he's nervous, when he starts speaking to me in English. He's
Right.
like, Michelle, you okay? Then I know, Sammo Hung.
So what happened? How badly hurt were you?
I was very lucky because I was very flexible.
Right. The ballet.
The ballet.
Ah, it all brings us
that
back.
helped.
Yes, I see.
So I killed my back muscles were completely torn.
Yeah.
I cracked a couple of ribs because of the impact. And when I was going to the hospital, all I remember doing was calling up my closest friend who was a doctor. It's very important, doctors, lawyers, and accountants.
Yes.
They have to be your closest friends, okay?
If you're a kung fu star, I would think so,
Especially that. So I called him and say, guess what? I'm being rushed over to the hospital. I've had this injury. Make sure that I have the necessary help. And all the way as you're bumping through and you feel this pain just going through your body, then the morning news got hold of this incident. And my parents live in Malaysia. And they have never come on set to watch. Because every time my dad and mom sees a movie, I'm sitting next to them and we're watching it, you know, and when I fall, it's okay because I'm sitting next to them.
Right.
So they don't know any of this. And I don't like to let them know this because it's very painful for them.
Right.
So I'm in the hospital by now with a cast up to here.
Right.
And I see in the news that, oh, Michelle Yeoh has been seriously hurt, blah, blah, blah. So the first thing I did was I called my parents. You know, the normal, hi mom, you know, what are you doing? This is 7:30 in the morning. Oh yeah, early morning call. It's a good day, you know, how's everyone? And by the way, if you hear something on the news, don't worry, it's just a publicity stunt.
Oh, no. Well, listen, please look after yourself because you're adorable. I'd hate to see you all kind of broken up in interaction.
No.
So, Michelle Yeoh, everybody, we're out of time. Thank you.